We often see a frustrating contradiction in the world around us. People who show deep kindness face severe tragedy, while those who act with arrogance and cruelty seem to effortlessly climb to the top. It creates a sense that the world lacks a logical moral structure. To analyze why this happens, we have to look at the conceptual model of karmic physics. Similar to Newton's cradle, every spiritual action generates a measurable input into the universe. That input is mathematically guaranteed to create an equal and opposite physical reaction. This framework treats karma as a rigid operating system, one that continuously measures human intent to correct imbalances in the physical world. To test how this system works, let's examine two individuals at opposite ends of society. Subject A is Mohan. He lives at the bottom of the social hierarchy, recently exiled by his own greedy brother. Despite his poverty, when he finds a starving sadhu who died alone in the forest, Mohan chooses to respectfully bury him. Subject B is King Vikram. He sits at the peak of power and wealth. When a desperately hungry sadhu approaches him for help, the king refuses, declaring the poor are nothing more than slaves meant to serve the crown. Both men have just encountered the exact same environmental trigger, a vulnerable individual requiring a basic act of humanity. Their choices have now been logged into the system. Regardless of their current wealth or social standing, the universe is about to correct their trajectories based entirely on how they reacted to this specific test. Mohan's trajectory initially seems to plunge into deeper despair. While trying to survive in the barren wilderness, his wife suffers a fatal snakebite, leaving him powerless and begging the universe for a solution. This is the moment his spiritual investment pays out. A magical jackfruit tree grows violently from the dry earth, producing a seed that immediately neutralizes the venom and heals Mohan's wife. Beyond the immediate medical recovery, the tree produces seeds that yield infinite crops, effectively erasing Mohan's poverty in a single harvest cycle. Seeing this wealth, Mohan's brother, Lakan, attempts to replicate the result. He sneaks into the forest and performs the exact same physical action, harvesting seeds from the magical tree. But his motive is pure greed. The tree rejects him. Instead of fruit, it emits a toxic, burning smoke, searing Lakan's skin and driving him away empty-handed. This explains the mechanics of the rejection. You have two identical physical inputs, taking a seed, but the system doesn't measure the physical movement. It measures the variable of intent. Mohan's empathy yields prosperity, while Lakan's greed yields punishment. Meanwhile, King Vikram faces his own cosmic correction. For his hubris, a curse strips him of his human privilege entirely, forcing him to live as a wandering stray dog. This forces the king to physically inhabit the lowest possible tier of existence. He must now experience the exact vulnerability, hunger, and societal disgust that he previously inflicted on his own citizens. To regain his human form, the system requires him to complete 3 selfless tasks. Crucially, he must do it anonymously, stripped of the leverage and authority of his crown. The universe has forced a systemic reboot of the king's ego. He has to learn how to generate value and protect others while starting from the bottom of the hierarchy. Vikram executes his first 2 trials through sheer perseverance. As a dog, he protects a poor Brahmin's family from a thief, and later guides a desperate farmer directly to the queen to secure tax relief. The king is now actively subverting the very tax policies he authored, using his anonymity to dismantle the systemic exploitation he once enforced. The final trial pushes him to the brink. A neighboring princess is dying from dark magic, and the only cure is a sacred ash located inside a cursed cave. This cave is a known death trap that has killed every human who tried to enter. Vikram willingly risks his soul. He secures holy water by answering a river spirit's riddle, uses it to free the trapped souls agonizing inside the cave, and successfully retrieves the ash. By risking his existence for a rival kingdom while trapped in the body of a nameless animal, Vikram's actions suggest that his prior obsession with status has been entirely replaced by a sense of duty toward others. When the magical ash touches the dying princess, she recovers. In that same moment, a flash of light releases Vikram from the curse, restoring him to his human form. Vikram returns to his kingdom to immediately abolish the taxes that funded his previous lifestyle, refocusing the crown's resources on the citizens he once called slaves. Take a look at this graph tracking the spiritual wealth of both men. Mohan's line begins at the bottom of society and curves upward due to his consistent empathy. Vikram's line crashes to zero during his curse and only recovers when he generates value for others. Both lines ultimately converge at the exact same peak point on the graph. Both men have achieved maximum spiritual prosperity within the system. As the karmic physics model demonstrates, societal status and material wealth function as temporary variables. The data suggests that empathy is the only stable input capable of producing long-term prosperity within this corrective system.